Hello everybody, welcome back to Animals Do What. I'm literally sitting in my car about to go into work, but I was just thinking about zoos and how bad that I want to visit zoos outside of the DMV. Now, I've been to like the Washington DC, the National Zoo, whatever the fuck it's called, the Maryland Zoo. That's fucking it. The aquarium. Like, I want to go to better zoos. Now, the Smithsonian Zoo isn't bad, but like, I don't know. I feel like they're not as good as like the Bronx Zoo or the San Diego Zoo, which is the two zoos that I'm going to be talking about today, because those are like the top two zoos on my list that I want to visit because they help so much with conservation and they care. And there's actually a show about both of them on Animal Planet. There's one called The Bronx, and then I don't know if San Diego Zoo has one. I think so. But I just want to talk about zoos in general because I just had a thought. I went to the Maryland Zoo like a month or so ago. And I was in the section of, like, the ringtail lemurs and, like, the smaller monkeys. And this drunk-ass lady was like, this is ridiculous. There's only one monkey in here. I paid all this money and drove all this way, and there's only one monkey. And I literally just, like, gave her the worst look on the planet. I was like, lady, there's, like, 20 things wrong with the sentence that just came out of your mouth. Number one, the animals are not here for show. Now, back in the day, zoos were for show. Now they're mainly for conservation. Now, I'm not saying there aren't places that have animals for show. I saw a fucking video on Reddit of these two people in a lion enclosure. They were clearly not zookeepers. They're wearing t-shirt and shorts. And there's a lot wrong with that scenario. Number one, even zookeepers do not get in the cage with that kind of animal unless the animal is sedated. They work with them through cages or barriers and whatever, but you do not get into an enclosure with a wild animal. Okay. Number two, zookeepers do not wear a t-shirt and shorts. They wear gear. They have things on them to protect them. T-shirt and shorts is not fucking gear. I'm sorry. I'm like going on a rant. Where did I even like get that from? Oh, I was saying like there's not ethical places. Yeah. So there's places like that. I don't remember what that was. And then I was going through like old pictures from when I was little, and I found a picture of a big ass tiger or a lion in this like little ass cage, and I'm pretty sure it was at the fucking circus. Now, I'm almost 24, so I was like really little at this time, and that was before the circus like banned wild animals. So I probably just fucking saw it there, and like having that picture is insane to me because looking at it now, like that is so fucked. And I didn't really know at the time because obviously I was old and didn't know any better, but now that I've done the research and like I'm literally going to school for animals, I know better. But like I said, there's still places that do illegal shit, and there are zoos that do illegal shit. But I have heard nothing but great things about the Bronx Zoo and the San Diego Zoo. I've watched the TV show. They have over 14,000 endangered species, and they breed these endangered species to keep them alive. And half the time, a lot of their animals are meant to be released in the wild or kept until they can be released in the wild. Or they're animals that are not able to thrive in the wild, that are going to be hunted. Like people fucking hunting elephants and rhinos for their horns and their tusks to make shit out of, which, that like whole thing makes me mad. So there's reasons like that why there's zoos. Going back to the stupid ass lady, they're not there for your enjoyment. That's like half of the reason the zoo is there. The zoo, number one, conservation. Number two, yes, you can look at them. That's great. It's there to teach you. It's more of a teaching place, not a show. So her drunk ass needs to fuck off. The fact that there's one monkey there, that is great. That means all the other monkeys are thriving out in the wild. Or people don't realize that an exhibit is not just the outside or like the little window you look in. There's parts to exhibits. especially monkeys. They have ways to go outside, and then they have an inside enclosure. And sometimes one is closed off for whatever reason. Sometimes they're getting medical attention or whatever the fuck. They're not out there for you to stare at them all the time. And I run into this problem too, even working at the shelter. People like come in and they're like, why don't you have any puppies? Why don't you have any purebred golden fucking doodle? I'm like, this is not a breeder. This is a shelter. These are animals that people do not want. These are animals that have been through hell. And they're not here for you to fucking stare at them. I had a lady the other day, so like, just like a zoo, we have like different sides of their rooms. So with like a little lever, we can pull up a door and then they can go on the other side. And we use that when we clean. Or if we can't get the pet out, if they're scared or something, we'll close one side so they can't go hide so we can get them out. So there was one day where I had all of the dogs on the inside so people couldn't see them because I was fucking cleaning. And so the lady decides to walk past a barrier where you're not supposed to walk, because that's where we let the dogs out so that way they don't attack you, like if it's not a very nice dog or whatever the fuck. And this lady like starts walking through the barrier, and I was like, ma'am, you have to stay on the outside, because if we let out a not very nice dog and it sees you and wants to kill you, you're gonna be fucked. And she was like, well, I can't see them. And I'm like, first of all, we just opened and I'm not done cleaning. I'm not gonna let them sit in their shit and piss because you want to look at them. You can either like wait 20 minutes or like go walk around, look at cats or something. Like, I don't know what to tell you. She was just like, oh. And I'm like, they're not here for you to look at them. They're here to live. They're here to eat. I have to feed them. I have to clean them. That is my first priority. Yes, they need to get adopted, but you sitting here staring at them and stressing them out is not going to get them adopted. That's all I have to say on that. But it's the same thing with the zoo. They're not here for you to fucking stare at them. They're here to have a life, be alive. And people don't get that. And I also was reading a post from like the rescue I got my cat from. And they were like, a lot of the cats that are like all white or have like blue eyes or like have two different colored eyes, they get adopted first because everybody's like, oh my God, that is beautiful. I want to look at that every day. And most of the time people just adopt them because they're pretty and don't realize animals have different personalities. Like an all black cat could have a way better personality than a fucking snowshoe cat or a Maine Coon or whatever. I'm so sick of people like coming in and being like, I want a cat to look like this, or I want a dog to look like this. Like, that doesn't matter. It's just like humans. Looks do not matter. Yes, in some cases it does. Like, I know you wouldn't want to look at an animal you don't think is cute every day. I get that. But wouldn't you rather have a really loving cat that maybe is missing a foot or missing an eye or like is a little ugly? Yeah, I would. Like, I don't know. People just like don't give animals the time of day, just like people don't give people the time of day. Like, if someone's not, what's the fucking word, traditionally attractive, they're like, no. But yeah. But anyway, my hope and dream is that one day the San Diego Zoo will buy me an all expense paid trip to fucking fly there and visit, because I cannot afford to fly the West Coast and fucking, their tickets are like $60-$70. And I was like, excuse me, and then I gotta buy a hotel, and then I gotta pay for a flight, and then I'll probably have an Uber because I can't take my car out there. I'm not old enough to rent a car, which is so fucking stupid. Don't even get me started on that. And yeah, I want to go. The Bronx Zoo is closer, but once again, New York, money, far, city. So yeah, it's just like a shitty situation. But I visit the zoos that I can. There's like some small wildlife centers, but I want to work in a zoo so bad because I just feel like, yes, I'm helping animals the best that I can, but I feel like that is like really helping animals. Like, I want to get as far up as I can with helping animals. All I have to say, this fucking it's gonna be 10 minutes long. I gotta take this jacket off. I'm gonna fucking like suffocate. It's a short episode. I just wanted to get that out of my system. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys the next time I make my next, what the fuck is this, podcast? Wow. Goodbye.